Hamish is going to introduce today's guest.
Okay. So we are still in South Australia, and we have come over here for a Pro Climber event. Yep. So we flew over here yesterday and caught up with Jess from Climber Shore and Jackson Enduro Builders, and we had a little event here last night.
So we're at the Mobile Pro Climber Studios.
We are at the Mobile Pro Climber Studios. So today, continuing on our building fabric conversation, we have Monika from Eco Sky Windows. Monika, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me. So Monika, I have launched Eco Sky Windows around 4 years ago, and we supply high performance, mostly triple glazed windows, basically across the country and New Zealand. And we focus on timber alu-clad windows, and we also fabricate Rainier's aluminium high performance windows.
Completely thermally broken too, though,
Yeah,
because there is a lot of people out there claiming, our thermally broken aluminium windows, when really they're not. They're thermally improved and they're still shit.
Oh no!
If they're made in Australia, they're shit.
Yeah.
No, this is a high-end, actually Passive House certified.
But they're international windows. They come.
We come from Belgium. We're profiles.
Yeah.
But we actually have a Rainier's Andrew who brought Rainier's about 10 or 15 years ago in Victoria.
Oh, so he puts them together in Victoria.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's got lots of fabricators that he works with.
Yeah.
But we fabricate them. We obviously have 20 plus years experience of fabricating them, triple glazed in Lithuania.
Yep.
Are you using the glass from, say, AGG or Viridian? Is that what you do? Do you use Australian glass,
no,
or you actually import the glass?
We fabricate the whole structure, the whole product.
So they're coming on a ship, rocking up the site. Bang, they can go.
So that's the aluminium,
Aluminium.
or both.
What do you mean?
So because you said you do aluminium windows and alu-clad,
Alu-clad windows, yes.
and both of them come from
From Lithuania.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's so. Yeah. So what I'm saying is, because going back to Hamish's comment about thermally broken windows in Australia, there's no thermally efficient aluminium window on the market in Australia.
From my understanding, there's a few people that claim they do, but again, I'm not going to name any names. Yeah. I don't think that there is a true thermally broken aluminium window.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at.
No.
Like, the window, you're not comparing apples with apples here.
No.
Yep.
Yeah.
And like our core product is timber alu-clad product. That's our core product. That's what we're really proud. That's our IP behind it, and especially the Slimline range. But obviously we have architects who want a slim profile, and the client really wants a aluminium look. So we have a slim, thermally broken aluminium product, and it's a Passive House certified.
What U-value are we getting down to on them?
You will be really surprised for a Slimline. Thermally broken is like 1.1.
Wow. Interesting.
Okay. Yeah. For triple glazed.
Okay, cool. So, and then compared to, say, a alu-clad around that 0.8?
It, again...
Depending what casement.
Depends what it is. And the way we calculate here the U values, we're taking the standard window size, right? Compare how we calculate in Europe. But yeah, it's around, the sliding door is 1 as well. So it's very similar, basically.
And just for reference, the way that you calculate a window and you're thinking of calculation, correct me if I'm wrong here, that you will take the frame, each vertical, horizontal, added up with the glass as one unit.
Correct.
And then an installed unit, where a typical window that would say we're thermally broken U-value in Australia, look at just the glass.
I work with Silok engineers here, and the way we calculate it is, but for example, if we have a U-value of a big fixed window, we can get even U-value 0.6 with European value, right? Because it's more glass, and a frame is usually 1 and a glass is 0.5.
Yeah.
But here, the same window can be 1 because we only allow to calculate it from the standard size, which is maybe 1.2 by 1.2. So it's the same window, but it's the worse value.
Yeah, so the way that we calculate here in Australia is pretty average.
I think by way of contrast,
that's what I'm getting at.
And again, I hope
not accurate actually as well.
Yeah, that's so. What I'm trying to paint a picture here for people, and try just to give you a bit of understanding of where I'm going with this, is that the windows, the way that they over in Europe, or even the way that, say, a lot of the aluplast or actually UPVC in Australia will calculate it as a whole window, not based off a average
calculations.
Yeah. So there's a lot more detail that goes involved when we talk passive house specifically on how that window is detailed.
I was just going to say, by way of contrast, like I know of some aluminium window suppliers here that are getting about 3.5 U value, which is nowhere near as good as 1.1.
Or is that 300 times worse? Is that right?
I don't want to.
No, but if we compare that to a U value of 1 and 3.5,
so we're just saying that
maths.
these aluminium windows that you're talking about are incredibly efficient. What were you doing before you started Eco Sky?
I was a mum.
Your mum, okay.
A mum.
So is Eco Sky your first job or no?
And you're also a recent mum as well.
A recent mum as well. I have
How many kids?
2 kids.
2 kids.
8 years old and 10 months old.
And you came over here about 15 years ago?
20 actually now.
20?
Yes.
What brought you over here?
Do you know where she's from originally?
No.
I was going to say, where do you want to guess the accent is? This is fun.
Eastern European.
Yeah.
I'm going to say... I was about to say Czechoslovakia, but
I say Lithuania.
Lithuania, yeah.
Okay.
Only because I'm guessing the windows. I'm cheating here that the windows are Lithuanian.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say that, but I almost thought that was too easy.
Yeah, I was like maybe Polish, but
yeah. No. So what brought you over here in the first place?
Uni.
Uni.
I had an opportunity, like, grow up quite lucky to have a fortunate family, but I had an opportunity to come and study in Australia.
Yeah.
And as you know, as an international student, it's a high fees even like 20 years ago.
Yep.
And then...
What did you study?
Leisure management.
Leisure.
what is that?
Business and travel together.
And so that sounds like
But
an arts degree. It sounds like the
I-
same fluff.
It sounds like the same degree I did. I did business marketing and tourism.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
similar
just-
thing.
but
A
I
couple of
actually-
diplomas like attached on top of it, yeah.
But I actually didn't finish all of it because the fees were astronomical. And obviously my parents been in business, and I always associate with business. You know, when your network is a business people. So I know how much we paid for my studies. I'm like, wow, I actually can learn more from real people in real world. And
What business did your family own?
Oh, lots of different, like logistics, marketing, lots of quite a few businesses.
Cool. Not Windows?
No, not
So
I wish we have Windows.
So what made you go, I want to start a window company?
I actually always
You always like Windows?
I always liked Windows, and my dad was as well. He was kind of a home builder. I'm not sure he he never had a building business, but he built like our 3-story home,
Speckies, yep.
And our lake houses and things like that. So he was.
Sounds like you had a very privileged upbringing.
And
my lake house and my house in the hills.
Quadra bike and a lake house.
Yeah, the lake house.
And back then, he always used to speak about like a right ventilation in the air in the house. So I don't think maybe if mechanical ventilation even existed. So he built an additional chimney in the house, just a chimney from the bottom. It was 3-story home. So it was leaky. So he added holes in the chimney. So we have always fresh air.
So you're creating like a stack effect.
Correct.
Yep.
Correct. But the walls were so thick, and obviously we had a double glazed windows, timber. And again, timber double glazed windows, like I'm talking 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And he always was speaking about windows to people, because obviously we have UPVC windows and timber windows in Europe, like lots of manufacturers.
Yep.
But I always remember how he used to speak about timber windows to like his friends. And it's just stuck in my mind, like timber windows.
So coming from Lithuania, you've obviously got quite a swing in temperature from summer to winter.
Yeah.
Just by way of like surviving, you had to have pretty well insulated and comfortable homes. What was it like coming to Australia?
Oh, shocking.
You can say shit if you want, because we can swear.
So basically, just to give a perspective, so if we have like minus 20 in Europe, it is, you walk inside the house, and our house was so well like built, we have singlet, t-shirt like inside, like it's just so comfortable. And like most Europeans have a perception of Australia is always warm.
Yes.
Like it's never been communicated on media that it gets cold here. And if you live in a house that is not right built, it gets really uncomfortable. And I think that feeling when you wake up in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, and it's cold, and you go to the cold bathroom, and you don't want to get out of bed, that feeling.
I don't have that feeling, Hamish.
I don't have a feeling either.
Do you live in a passive house? We're going to stop.
We've made that joke every episode.
We're going to stop using that joke.
And it's that uncomfortable. That was a culture shock.
Yep. Yeah, look, I experienced that in the home that we currently live in, and obviously have big plans to upgrade that over the next few years. But yeah, during winter, it's
the mental well-being of over time. It exhausts you. Like as you go on through winter, you just don't want to go out of that bedroom that's got the heater on, watch TV in bed, because it sucks.
I love where we live. It is the most incredible property, but in the depths of winter, it is depressing because it's just so cold. We live right near a river. All the cool air just settles in the valley. Yeah. And it's usually about 3 or 4 degrees colder where we are than at the end of our street. So if it's like 8 degrees somewhere else, it's 5 degrees where we are. So
I'm about to obviously go through the first winter. I'm kind of excited. Well, I'm not as scared this time.
Yeah, I'm so excited for you, Matt.
I'm
so excited.
But it's a weird concept that like usually I'm thinking about, well, I've got to go to Brisbane or Queensland to something to get away for some nice warmer weather.
Yep.
You know that it's going to be wet and rainy. You're like, oh, this is going to suck. But like mentally, I'm already in the mindset of like, oh, it's cool.
And I was just talking about the Queensland. I just spoke with my husband another day that I wonder how many people would move to Queensland if we would have good quality homes. Because for example, we live with not certified passive house, but we live in a SIP house, triple glazed windows in a valley like you in a hill. So it gets really cold, 3 degrees outside and constant 20 degrees inside. So it's amazing. It's just pleasure. Yeah. And you actually enjoy that winter in the hills. It's beautiful colors. Trees are changing.
The hills, and
it's actually beautiful. I've never been here.
I was telling you today as we're driving out of Hahndorf, I'm like, it's a shame we can't go for a drive up through Aldgate and Bridgewater and stuff like that. It is absolutely spectacular up through there.
I'll give you the tour of the airport.
Yeah. Next time the airport. It's a you can't. We're back. Well, what are we in now? It's April. We're about to hit that winter months where social media fills up with all these Europeans complaining how cold Australian houses are, and then every media outlet has their article on how bad our homes are built, and then we all forget about it. But I think what we've got to remember is in Victoria, specifically in Adelaide, you're a little bit warmer of a climate zone. You're heating 60-70% of the year.
What climate zone are you here?
5.
5 or 6?
5, I think.
But I think the hills might be different again.
Yeah, I did ask someone last night.
It's very different.
Could you be at 6 in the hills? Maybe?
It might be. Just would know from climate change.
Yeah, because it is quite mild as you head down towards...
It's very, like what you said about living in a valley. So we live in the hills and in a valley. It's 3-4 degrees different when down a hill.
Yeah.
Is that because the cold sinks?
And we have a dam on a property. I don't know, it's just...
Maybe, yeah. I mean, it probably doesn't get as much solar gain as well because you're in a valley.
Yeah.
So you recently moved into your home?
Yes, just actually a year ago, July last year.
And you...
Just after you had the baby?
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Were you aiming to get in before? Because this is actually fun.
Yeah, I was aiming for the baby to be all with you, but it came on time.
So we had a very interesting conversation about your home just before we jumped on, and you said from slab to moving in was 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
What?
Yep. 6 weeks. Wild.
So it was properly web approved in 4 days.
Right. So SIPs up, building wrap in, windows would have been on site already.
Everything around the ship.
Everything.
Did you import everything from the membranes to? Is that what you did? Did you have the membranes attached to your SIPs?
No. So, but it's a 67 square meter studio, like a 2-bedroom. Place.
And
so it's a studio.
It's a studio, but it's going to be in the future a studio. And
that gives me more context.
Is there 4 of you in there now?
It is 4.
Wow.
Yeah. But it's really we have a 3.2 meter ceiling, so it's lots of glass.
And the houses that you live in Europe are a lot smaller in size than what we're used to living in here.
It is possibly now, but we had this. Especially in Lithuania, we had, once we became independent country from Soviet Union, in let's say mid-90s, where people used to build very big houses, and we never used to finish them. I'm talking 3-4 story home. Even the house I grew up was a 3-story house. But I think when people realize how much funds you need to complete the house, and we started downsizing.
Yep.
So the new houses are getting smaller. But if you will drive through the older suburbs, you will see some really bigger concrete homes, bigger sizes.
How old are your kids? So 10-month-old and
8 years old.
Okay, yeah. Having a 9-year-old, I'm just trying to work out the dynamic of living in a smaller footprint home. Could be fun.
So what did you say? You got 10-month and a 9-year-old.
Yeah.
8-year-old.
8-year-old.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And plans to expand on the house.
Oh no, we're building a new house as well.
Building. Okay, so you're. This is where you're moving in now. You're moving into this
On
while.
site, while
Yeah,
we're
okay.
building a bigger house. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Is this one going to take a bit longer
It's,
to build? Like, is it going
I'm
to take?
sure. Yeah, it's gonna be longer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Know anyone that can provide good windows for the house?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Ecosky.com.au.
So
I've got a few people I could probably recommend if you
yeah.
want.
So how did you fall into Windows? Like, where was the
Yeah.
first conversation or thought of like, I want to do Windows?
Because university, and then there was a bit of time between then, and then you've had kids, 8-year-old then, but 4 years ago you started EcoSky. What was that motivation to get into Windows?
So, like you can't just start a window company like, okay, tomorrow I'll start a window company, right? It's not.
Well, I think this is how
lot of people
naive
think.
entrepreneurs start bubusinesses, though.
You
because we're
can't-
like, oh, that's easy, so then you just do it.
No, Windows is obviously such a technical component of a house. So
Yeah.
it's for me, it's like I always kind of have this engineering mind behind me. Like my husband is engineer, we're very technical people. So it's such a technical aspect of, it's not like, I shouldn't say like compared to flooring, but paint, paint is everything is technical, right? But here Windows is like drainage, it's such a technical aspect. So it took, I had a dream to start a window company possibly at 10 years. So I was working on it, but officially launched, like open a company is only 4 years ago, right?
Yep.
So obviously you need to do Australian testing, standard testing, you need quite a bit of capital to start a window business. And then I always had a dream because we living in Adelaide, I didn't want to have a showroom and just focus on Adelaide market. So I had a dream. So I retrofitted my own house, and just obviously, and to see how architects will like the window space. Just tested the market, and then working across the country.
So I think I remember one of the first times you and I jumped on a Zoom call together. You showed me. Because you had a sandstone house or something, like a double brick home?
Yeah, double brick home.
And I think you showed me that you'd retrofitted all the windows in that double brick home. Yeah.
And like how I retrofitted as well. Like it's actually, the front of the house was all timber windows.
Yep.
And the northern side of the house the back side of the house was aluclad windows. So I wanted to, so basically in the same house, I have 2 different windows for people to see.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, but I think, do you know what? I reckon most people wouldn't even notice that.
No, nobody noticed.
So did you, when you started EcoSky, have you actually had any previous window experience before? Had you worked for a window company?
No.
I think it does help though. The fact that you're from Lithuania, your dad's or parents are in logistics.
Yeah.
Like you start putting these kind of pieces together, it's not much of a stretch to then start to import from whatever it is.
But before even I started, I went, we, like even in Lithuania, we have quite a few really good window manufacturers. So I needed to choose the right partner I want to work with. And like my own attitude is like, if it's a problem, like it's always a solution to it. That's my motto in life, is always a solution to everything. And what I like about our partners, we're like the biggest company in the country, but it's a second generation running a company now. That's how long we've been in business. And they like everything is possible. Like any architect's brief, we can manufacture.
So this is a good architect's brief.
Yeah, actually, that's interesting. Sorry to come back to you in a second, because I saw that Dean Backman had put in quite a sort of colonial style timber window in one of his projects in Macedon. Yeah. That was one of yours, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, quite detailed, quite different to the other windows that you see everywhere else. This partner this factory you partnered with, I'm assuming that they make and manufacture windows for other partners as well. It's not just EcoSky windows.
Yeah, so in Australia it's just for us.
Yeah.
We have
Yes.
agreement, obviously.
Yeah, cool.
But we export windows, to Japan, like to all over the world, basically.
Yeah.
We're really big company. 20,000 square foot. That's a solid manufacturing.
So jumping back to your architect comment that you just sort of made and alluded to, in your form, you said every architect is demanding with all the glass that they want.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk more about that? Because I think it's a really good conversation to have. Mm-hmm. I understand, just for context, I understand as an architect, you guys want to maximise a view or glass brings inside to outside. So, but it also comes as there's a kickback when you have so much glass, especially on the wrong orientation.
Yep.
Do you want to maybe talk about that?
So what would you like me to tell about that?
Everything.
My house is going to be 70% to wall ratio of glass as well. So it's about, I'm working with some, obviously, building physics to make sure we get, the right shading and orientation.
Who'd you work with?
I got Alex Slater,
Yeah, okay.
involved to
Yeah.
help out. He said he never worked in a house with 70% glass to wall ratio.
So actually, you're 70% glass across the whole house.
Yeah. To wall ratio.
Wow.
What's your main major source, major orientation?
North.
So have you got
Yeah.
a lot of external shading?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you overhangs or manual or automatic shading?
I actually have, it's going to be manual blinds, aluminium blinds with
The louvers.
Louvers, yeah.
Do part of your window, do you import the blinds as well so they can be custom to each window?
We can do all that.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we
Does
can
it-
work on
yeah.
every project.
Yeah.
But talking about the glass, so everything architects demanding all the glass, and we want timber profiles. But what we find out, we speaking with so many different architects, we want a slim profile.
Yeah.
They want a slim. We don't want any chunkiness.
What timber did you go internally for your own house?
Oak.
Oak.
Do you know what's really
Fancy.
interesting about your approach to these high performance windows? So, and I won't name any other names, but I think about some of the other players in the space who are delivering similar windows. They're basically performance first. They're saying we want to build passive houses, whereas you're like, hey, you know what? We want to try and get our windows in these beautiful architectural windows and push the boundaries. And I think you even talked about before, whether it was off camera in your form, that you're not necessarily targeting the passive house homes, because I would argue that your home's probably not going to hit passive house standard with that amount of.
Actually, you can probably.
Would, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
You've got
it's-
shading, there'd be no
but
reason
like-
why.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Interesting.
because our performance is by default. We have the factories in Lithuania and our national construction code. Every single house has to get a lower dot test and we have to get 0.6 air changes per
Wow.
hour. Every single house.
So that's
by
in your
default.
code?
In our code.
Wow.
So our performance of the windows is just, we don't even speak about it because it's by default.
We can't even get each state to agree on the code.
Well, yeah. I mean, we can't even get really good thermally broke aluminium windows here. And some of these suppliers are still delivering single glazed aluminium.
I can't get my head around that.
How is that even fit for purpose? I don't understand.
Just even from a thermal perspective, just a comfort.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's fit for.
It's the feel how
This just sounds.
Could you imagine right now, Matt, sitting where you are in the morning, because that's east, so right behind you is east, and imagine if that was a single glazed aluminium window, sliding door, not as airtight as what it was, how hot it would have been in this room.
I don't want to.
It would have been cranking.
You actually just said something. You said airtight, and I think it's really important as well with windows. Is a window can have 15 planes of glass, but if it's not airtight, who cares? I think that's a really important functionality of the windows, especially you guys provide, that they also airtight. And obviously then if you're airtight, you're watertight. And that's a big problem we have in Australia. Windows are considered to be, they're double glazed, how cool is this? But it's like, well, how airtight are they? Oh, they're not, which means then water has the ability also to get in.
But even with double glazing, if you just look at the glass itself, glazing is not the same. Like we have science that how much argon you have to have in between each glass to perform. And if you have 6 mil argon or 16 mil argon in between, it's a different performance level. And we have science data backed up by 20 years of experience.
There's double glazing and then there's double glazing.
Yeah,
And
not all
there are
double
some.
glazing is
There's some
Yeah.
double glazing units, from my understanding, that will outperform a triple glaze unit.
Sorry, I don't know. I can't comment on
Yeah.
that.
No,
because
but if you had
our triple glazing is so
No, but if you had the wrong,
okay, get it.
If
I
you
get
had,
it. I
just
get
having
it. I see
3
what you
layers of glass also doesn't solve the problem.
No, it has to. It's a science.
Yeah.
So we get some inquiries from architects or owner builders, or can I please have a low E on this type of windows, on this glass? I said our low E is our minimum standard is by default. We don't even supply without a low E. And on triple glazing, we have low E internally and on external paints.
And I was going to ask.
It's the minimum standard
So have you got them on
that.
glass layer 5 and layer 2?
layout.
So 1, 2,
3, 4,
3,
5.
4, 5.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Inside and
Yeah.
inside.
Yeah.
I'm a bit ignorant to this. I know Cam probably knows the answer, but if, and correct me if I'm wrong, on different elevations and maybe in different climates, like having the low E in a different pane impacts the
That's
impacts
what
the
you're saying. It's
performance?
science. It's not.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. But you're
That's
saying,
more solar heat would be very
but
low.
but you're saying that you have a low E on, say, if we're going from inside to outside, so you've got the inside panel that you can touch, then the other side of that is where the low E is.
Yep.
Then you've got a panel of glass in between with no
Yep.
low E.
Yeah.
And then on the outside pane, on the inside of that pane, there's another low E.
Yeah.
If we remove one of them, how does it impact the performance?
Good question.
Yeah,
It might
okay,
be-
cool.
It might be not from a UVU value performance. It would be just more from
Solar
the
heat gain- heat gain
because
coefficient, yeah.
the argon will be more U value. The gap in between those space, that's what actually plays a difference. And all our glass usually has from 16 to 20 mil gaps of argon because that's when it's the best.
Okay, so they're quite big.
Is that for your double glaze? So you're what are you 424 as a
Yeah, but so we have either 24 or 48 or 52 mil sash of glass.
Yeah, okay.
Because that's we know when it's going to have the best performance for the clients.
Yep.
Mm.
Yep.
So yes, so 60 is that the biggest is 62? Did you say
52.
52? So think about single glazed pane of glass is 4 to 6 mil. Having
52 mil. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
as in, like that's a thickness of timber difference.
And does your extrusions change depending on the panel of glass that's in there? So these windows that we're looking at now, like if I'm just looking at the panel that's behind Matt
72
now,
extrusions.
so they're probably, I don't know how wide they are, but they're fitting a
You mean like it depends on the frame?
Yeah.
No, so our frame is 78 mil thick,
Yep.
deep. So it's the same frame if you're gonna put double glazed or triple glazed.
Is that
Glass.
the slimline? Is that slimline? Is that
No, 78 mil is a slimline as well, like
Yeah.
deep. And the slimline is so for example a standard tilt and turn thick, the tilt and turn because obviously it's wide is 128,
Yeah.
and the slimline is 88.
So talk to me on the slimline. Is it the external parts are slim as well as the internal part, like the operable part?
Yes.
Because I think one thing people need to understand with Australian windows is they typically say, "Oh, we want it slimline," but it's slimline only from the inside. Outside, it's a bit chunkier because it covers the glass. Where in a passive house or a high performance, the windows they do look a bit thicker because your inside the operative part is sort of hard up against the frame. Does that make sense what I'm getting at here?
Actually, then it would look the same because our slimline, for example, even you see, I'm not sure how thick this interlocking depth between sliding doors. It seems like maybe even over 100 mil thick. So for slimline, it's 54 mil thick.
But what I mean is, say, see this. This is hard if you're not watching the video, but see this window over here.
Yeah.
If that was in a typical window, that operable part would be on the outside. So the outside looks thicker, but the inside looks thinner.
So with slimline, we do like a concealed hinges and all operable parts.
Okay.
Everything looks much. Every single part is slimmer.
And the concealed hinges, I'm assuming, are based on the weight of that tilt and turn. So if you had a massive tilt and turn, you'd probably need a more heavy duty.
Actually, because we only use like Segenia brand hinges, and we can do tilt and turn up to 3 meters tall.
Yeah.
And 1.2 wide.
Wow.
Tilt and turn. It's all.
Yeah.
And even like we're talking about the hinges. So, and we spoke
Because hardware is important.
The hardware plays a top basically a role, because you're gonna be living in my house and you're gonna be using the windows, right? So
Are you though? This is a funny part because I reckon you don't use them as much as you think you're going to in a comfortable house.
I use the windows. I love it. I use it. Even the sliding doors, in and out.
Okay, yeah.
Doors are one thing, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. But your windows, how often are you using them?
I use them all the time.
Yeah, okay. Have you got a little HRV in this studio?
Yeah, 100%.
Centralised or decentralised?
Centralized. The small one in that goes in. Actually, Zenda Pulse brand.
The Aerofresh
that
200.
goes into. No, it's called Pulse Zenda. It goes in the ceilings like a small one.
Yeah, I know the one. We've put one.
Is it the
in an
Q200?
Alter Eco project.
I
Like
think
a
it's a
120 or something.
Yeah. Yeah, the Aero. I think it's actually.
I love HRVs. It's just it's a different. It's another podcast.
Yes, definitely.
But even like we're in one now here, and it's so fresh.
Yeah, it
and
is.
like the houses, nobody lives here, so you would feel like it would be otherwise. Would be like it wouldn't be fresh air like this. Yeah.
Yeah, walking in here yesterday morning, and I don't know when someone was in here before us, but walked in, and it didn't smell because the HRVs on all the time. It was really comfortable, and we had 30 or 40 people in here last night, and it didn't feel cloudy. Like the CO2 levels didn't feel like they've escalated. So people were still switched on. People were still engaging. People weren't yawning. And I don't know if we were having such engaging conversations, but maybe that was the case.
But what I noticed with HRV at home, and I'm not sure if it's actually 100% working, it's just my own perception. So you have obviously 8 years old, and like last winter I had a really newborn, like a couple months old, and the bigger one comes back from school, has some flu or something, and the little one didn't catch. I just put a HRV on a top mode all the time, make sure it's working.
So you're on boost
The whole time, basically, while he is unwell, make sure the air is filtering, and the little one didn't get sick.
Interesting.
I think there's a few studies
But
happening
again,
with this.
I'm not sure. I'm not. It's just, but for me,
Yeah,
it's,
but I'm sure
something to do with it.
Do you think there's confirmation bias?
It's definitely anecdotal, but I'm sure you could get 100 of those stories that speaks to that. I mean, you've told me that you're quite stuffy during the day. You go home and it goes.
So I've been sick I've had like some form of a lung infection since we went into Tassie. I got it off the flight from Noah, and I got it, and I pretty much wasn't able to exercise for like 8 weeks. Like I was pretty crook. But what was really fascinating is all week I was just struggling from Monday to Friday. I would then sit at home. I started working from home. I thought I was better. Then I went back outside a lot more and got sick. I just got sick again. And then it would get to a point where you'd hit Friday. I'd work from home Friday. You're there Saturday. You're there Sunday. You're like, oh, I think I'm actually better now. Finally. Start Monday, go into my office, bang, trigger again.
Interesting.
So it took me a few weeks to recognize this pattern. And I was like, the house does work. And then oddly enough, Nicole or no one ever got it. As bad.
Oh, well, there's another anecdote.
And so Nicole messaged me yesterday as we got on the plane, and she's like, I think Noah's got a bit of a cold. I actually asked her today, but it would be interesting, another test
She
case.
looked pretty bright this morning when I saw her
she was fine
on the phone.
Yeah, so yeah.
How many of the buildings that you're supplying windows to are going for certification? Do you know? You've done one for Kyle, haven't you, Jan Tassie?
Oh, we have
Maxa, wasn't
we
it?
have multiple actually certification projects, but I wouldn't be able to tell you how many exactly.
Yeah.
Quite a few in Victoria, obviously, Tassie.
And you deliver Australia wide?
Yeah.
Yep.
And
the
New
school
Zealand.
in WA actually now at Passive House School.
For Brian?
So it's Lynn House.
Oh, yep. Yes.
It's
Yeah.
a Passive Steiner school that's going to be Passive House certified.
And is Brian building the school?
I think it's been
No,
built.
Brian, I think is going to be installing my windows only.
Yeah, okay. Oh, that was the one that was at the conference last year, yeah?
Correct.
Yeah,
correct.
yeah, okay. Yep.
So that's going to be a really nice project. It's all oak, all like, yes.
Yeah, beautiful.
Beautiful.
What's the process of ordering windows through you for those who, I guess, want to get in touch, and then what's the lead time? How does it all work?
So I would recommend you, obviously, my normal process is we get involved really early in a project with an architect, like a year or even 18 months before the project even, the builder gets a contract. So we get involved super early to work out all these 0 mil threshold, all the details, pocket sliding doors and all that type of details. And then when the builder gets a contract, we order the shop drawing straight away, and that takes about probably 10 or 2 weeks to get back and forward with the builder to make sure all works, all the details works, like especially the drainage. That's probably the main thing for me, drainage. And then once we order, it takes about 5 months to get to site.
So you'd be about 26 weeks, is that?
No, like from ordering is we manufacture in 8 weeks, and then like 2.5 months on a boat, so 18 to 20 weeks. But depends. That's from ordering, so it depends how long.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Depends how proactive we can make shop drawings really quickly in a couple of days, but how proactive is the builder going back and forward?
Yep.
It's all about that. If we make a shop drawing, so the builder gets back to me in a month's time, it's 4 weeks gone.
So do you then say, like, is it delivery to every state, or you deliver, say, to Melbourne or Sydney, then truck it down, or
No, we deliver every state.
yeah. So and then you got to go through fumigation, and then you will then do you deliver?
We usually fumigate in Europe,
Yeah.
so it's much quicker here. And
Okay.
there's no hold-ups here.
Okay, so then do you when you get them to Australia, are you delivering them on a truck or are they in a shipping container?
Depends what's the access and depends
Yeah,
what
yeah.
it is. But like the way we pack them, the way each pallet, obviously it's all customized pallet, depends on the size, but each pallet is covered with plywood on top
Yeah.
of it as well. So it's like super secure because if we need to unpack the shipping container, if for logistic partners, like I care about the windows, right? The builder cares about the windows, architect, the client, but logistic people, they don't care.
Yeah.
Right. And it's a lot of money sitting there. It's a lot of hard work. So it's all covered, so nobody can actually.
Yeah. So where I'm getting at here is people go, 20 weeks to get windows on site.
Yeah.
What's Australia? Maybe 8 weeks? That's
It's
probably,
it's 8 weeks, and then you think about when you're ordering them.
So-
I mean, it really just makes you be much. I know when we've ordered SIPs and we've ordered windows that have longer lead times.
Yeah.
It's just about being organised.
so, but also like 26 weeks. Yeah. If you order them properly at the right time, it shouldn't really hold you up
No, you would arguably be ordering them
as you sign the contract. or-
pretty much sign a contract, deposits get paid. You got a month to get to site, and then usually 3 to 4 months.
Yeah.
Slab in the ground, and then you're putting your frame up, putting your building wrap on, putting your roof on, and then windows are rocking up. So,
Yep.
From a timeline point of view, it doesn't matter. 5 months doesn't matter.
That's what I'm getting at. Because
Yeah.
I think the biggest fear for people is like, they come from Europe. But oddly
It's
enough,
about being organised.
ordering from Europe, things come on time.
Yeah, but one thing I will say about that is that if you are a builder and this is your first time buying anything from overseas, you need to understand that you need to pay for them in full by the time they land.
leave.
But by the time they leave.
No, by the time we land, yeah.
By the time they land, that's what I'm saying. By the time
Yeah.
they land, so you need to structure your progress claims to make sure that you've got, the deposit, the
This is
manufacturing.
The
This is a
second
great
payment.
point because banks. I've had a kickback on 2 projects recently. Depending on the bank, I know Bank Australia are a lot better, but window deposit because they're saying, you're paying for something before it's arrived. So you've got to be a little bit sneaky in the way that you just write windows.
I would never say to window deposit. I'd just load up another claim.
Yeah, but that's the other way you could do it.
Just
Yeah,
load up
so-
a claim. You can only obviously get 5% for your.
yeah, but that's the issue. You want to be able to cash flow it. So if you
Exactly.
do the deposit, or what would you call it as something else like?
Well, do deposit, then do site establishment. You can
Yeah,
get
but then
site
you
es- then
use
you
the
can do
deposit
base.
money to run it. Yeah.
Yeah. I just think it's about just being mindful of the things that you need to pay up front. Because like your windows could be $150,000 to $200,000, right? So it's a big.
What's the biggest
Some
window?
of them $500,000. Like
Yeah,
What's
there
the
you go.
biggest
So it's a-
package you
it's a-
got?
It's a
$500,000.
Yeah, there you go. So it's a lot of money that you need to pay before windows arrive on site. So you just need to be really mindful about, when you're paying for these things and when you're actually getting money.
Who's your biggest market? Like, what is there a state that you do more work than any other state?
I work Victoria and Tassie. I do quite a bit of in Tassie.
What about South Australia?
It's actually quite small market for me.
Yeah.
But it's picking up. It's definitely picking up and growing, 100%.
It's
But
interesting because James Turner said the same thing this morning when we were interviewing this morning. He said it is a smaller, there's much more energy around high performance homes in Victoria and Tassie. Maybe it's climate, I don't know.
I think it's just catching up with education.
Yes,
And
yeah.
It's climate, we definitely need the high performance home here, 100%.
Well, what I see that's exciting, I was exciting for you guys, and I was saying this to James this morning, is that you have an infinite market here.
100%.
That it's only going to get bigger.
But
So get
that
in now.
Hamish, it's a mindset.
Yeah, okay.
It depends when you see it depends what you see.
I see. Maybe I'll move back to South
And
Australia.
we actually provided really long time ago. One of our first project is a beautiful private recording studio. We've attached a couple bedrooms at the back. It's for private use. So it was our windows required like a special glass for obviously
Acoustics.
for recording. Yeah, acoustics. And it's a young builder, and I said to him, just push for the certification because I seen what you haven't seen in a different state, and that's what's going to do for your business.
Yeah, definitely.
And I said, at least just pay from your own pocket, like it's additional or 10K or something, just because we have everything in there. We have a good wraps, we have a HRV, good, like everything.
Yeah.
But it didn't get certified.
He didn't pay for it, or he'd actually.
No, the client didn't want. Like, he's a great builder, and I work with him. I keep working. He lives just here in Algerian Hills. He's a great builder, young builder. But the client didn't care. He just wanted a recording studio.
Yeah. We were having the same conversation with James. At some point along the way, we've all paid to play, right? We've all bought our own first high-performance project, so we've got a proof of concept. And I think it's just, don't look at it as losing money, just look at it as marketing.
Oh, but it's not for us to judge, you know. Everyone's
Yeah, of course.
circumcision
Yeah,
is
totally.
different, and
Yeah.
yeah.
So what's next for EcoSky? Like what are you seem like you're a pretty ambitious person. Like what's next?
Well, we have some really exciting new product systems coming to the market the last quarter of this year.
Yeah.
Really exciting.
Can you tell us what?
No,
that
I
is?
can't.
Are they window
You
related?
can tell us off.
Absolutely,
You can tell us
window
offline.
Are they window related?
Absolutely. Really exciting.
Can we guess?
Yes, you can.
Oh, I don't know if I want to guess.
Skylights?
Oh no, we do skylights already.
Yeah, actually, you in your form you talk about a big skylight that you.
Yeah, so we don't, if like clients want just a standard skylight, I said if it's Facro or Velux does, please get it off the shelf. It's much better. But for example, right now we're designing, we're working on a skylight that is 5x5 in the middle of a house, part of the roof structure, openable parts, all triple glazed. It's
5x5, so it must be on an angle.
on an angle. One third is on an angle and two thirds. It's on an angle like that.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Wild.
It's It's all triple glaze, heavy sensors, automatic openings.
That's
Cool.
So basically, EcoSky is like we are more engineered-based manufacturer.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Awesome. Mindful moment, Matt.
Yes, we have a segment at the end of every podcast. It's the Mindful Moment, sponsored by MEGT, Australia's leading apprenticeship experts. My advice this week, Haim.
Yep.
Apprenticeships, they're a license to learn.
Yep.
And I think that sometimes as an apprentice, you think you need to know everything, even when you're a qualified carpenter, actually if you're a year out or even 15 years experience, you should still have a license to learn. But I just want to hammer home that idea of an apprentice, that you're there to learn, and show initiative, be proactive. Don't wait for someone to tell you to learn. I think it's a really important thing that we just need to understand, that that we all started somewhere and we got to where we are by spending that extra time and extra effort to understand what we do, and learn that little bit more.
And I'll just say, add to that, as business owners, even though you and I, Matt, might not be on site all the time, we definitely see the people who are engaging a lot more in their extracurricular learning.
It's very clear.
And we potentially favour those people and invest a little bit more time in them if we're actually seeing that they're hungry for it.
Monika, if someone wants some really cool windows, how would they get onto you?
Just give me a call. I'm kidding.
No. All right, and we'll put
Put your mobile number in the show notes.
We actually just ecosky.com.au.
Yep.
Very simple. Or on Instagram, ecosky_windows.
Awesome.
And they're a proven product, so you're not doing this for the first time. So if you're scared of doing this sort of, I don't know, using an imported window or working with an imported window, like the evidence is there on magnitude, and plenty of builders across Australia have worked with you guys that will be able to provide some extremely positive feedback. But even again, reach out to them if you're not sure how to install them. Don't be afraid to ask around and ask for some help.
And I reckon if you're an architect out there, I think there's a really huge opportunity for you to get into architects' ears, because they love using big, tall glazing units with aluminium. They're still going to continue to use them, so they may as well use your certified passive house windows. So if you're an architect, I'd strongly encourage you to reach out to Monika and check out their aluminium range too.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on, Monika.
Cheers.
Thank you.